All right. Good morning. My name is Danny Cerrone. I'm from Clark Hill, the solicitor for the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority. Today is the annual meeting in which the board officers for the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority are elected for a one-year term or until a successor is elected. I will conduct the annual meeting of the election of officers and then return the gavel to the new chair of the board of directors for the next year. First, I will call the roll of officers. Alex Schuley.
Here.
Erica Strasburger.
Here.
BJ Leber.
Here.
Michael Domock.
Here.
Peg McCormick Barron.
Here.
Jamil Bey. We have a quorum. Now turning to the election of officers, may I please have a motion to elect the chair, the vice chair, secretary and treasurer, and assistant treasurer.
So moved.
There is a motion to elect Alex Schuley as chair, Erica Strasburger as vice chair, BJ Leber as secretary and treasurer, and Michael Domock as assistant treasurer. May I please have a second to consider the motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion to elect Alex Schuley as chair, Erica Strasburger as vice chair, BJ Leber as secretary and treasurer, and Michael Domock as assistant treasurer, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The slate of officers has unanimously passed. Congratulations to the elected officers. I wish you well and have no doubt that you will continue to conduct the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority in the outstanding manner in which you have for the past few years.
They're not forgetting my password now.
May I have a motion to adjourn the annual meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
A second?
I'll second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion passed. The annual meeting has concluded.
All right. Very good. Thanks, Danny. All right. You're stuck with me for one more year, Will. We're ready. That's right. The first order is, do we have any speakers for public comment? Is it online? Okay. Could you please identify yourself?
Yes, good morning. My name is Nabil Cassie, and I own a few properties in Pittsburgh, which PGH2O serves. And I have a problem for years now. I tried to resolve it with management, but I was unable to. That's why I'm seeking the few minutes that I have today to see if you can help me with it. The problem is in the billing. As you know, PGH2O can lien the property for any unpaid bills, and the owner of the property is the one who ends up paying for it. Now, the tenants, most of them, from what I've seen, they know about this, and they simply don't pay their bill, even if the account is under their name, because their credit doesn't get impacted and they go after the owner. I have a couple of properties that the account, my balance has been going up drastically, and I keep calling and asking and emailing management to see if they can help me with this. And the response I keep getting is, we cannot do anything. The PUC mandates that we give them payment plans for 3 different occasions, or I get something like, you need to file a complaint with the PUC, we cannot do anything. Now, 2 years ago, I sent an email asking, is there anything you guys can do to help me? Because one of the bills in one of the homes has gone up to about $1,200. And the response was, we suggest you add the average cost of the monthly bill to the rent. And this way you get your money. It's like, why is it always the customer that has to do something? Why do I have to add it to the rent? I get resistance from tenants about that. Why do I have to file a complaint with PUC? Why do I have to do it all from my end? What have you done? I don't think there was anything done. Well, last month I got the bill and it went up from $1,200. It's $2,800 now. And I called and I said, what have you done? The answer was, we cannot do anything. It's the PUC. You can file a complaint. And I asked to talk to the manager, or not the manager, the CEO, to try to resolve this issue. But then I learned that you cannot call the CEO and you cannot even email the CEO. I can email my congressman, but I cannot email the CEO. Any emails to the CEO must go through the info email account. And then there's a bunch of staff there that intercept these emails and and try to resolve it without bothering the CEO. I deal with a lot of utility companies, but PGH2O takes the cake on this. What I see is just unbelievable. I put in a public record request to see how many other accounts is there with PGH2O that have balances over $1,500. I want to see the extent of this problem. You would think that the management would look into it and see what kind of mess they have on their hands, but maybe it's up to me now to help. So that's my issue now. I've tried to see if they can add the sewer bill to the water bill for those areas that you don't serve the water. That didn't work. I tried to see if there's any way they can shut off the water if paid. They said they got to go through 3 different payment plans. Obviously, whatever is being done is not working because my balance keeps going up. It's over $2,800 now. And I think within a year or so, it might jump up to maybe $3,500, $4,000. There's no end in sight. There is no threshold limit on how much the balance can go up to. And the tenants know that. They don't care. They don't pay. And because they can lien the property, they're going to get their money. You guys are going to get the money. And it's all hunky-dory. It's all beautiful. Let's just come to work and do what we can. And I'm seeking your help now. Management could not help me. They always throw the ball back at me. And my question was, well, how many times did you call PUC and try to set up a meeting? How many times did you file a complaint on our behalf? How many times did you try to contact the water company and see if you can join the billing, put it like in one bill? And if they don't pay the sewer along with the water gets shut off right away. What have you done to try? Nothing.
All right, thank you for your
From what
comments. We're beyond our 5 minutes here. We'll
Yes,
we'll
sir.
direct staff to look into the matter, and legal and otherwise customer service. So thank you for your comments.
Thank you, sir.
All right. The item is the approval of the meeting minutes from January 24th, 2025. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the meeting minutes, January 24th, 2025, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the minutes are approved. Confirmation of CEO approvals. All CEO approvals from the prior month are confirmed. We move to reports and updates, and we start with Finance Department. Mr. Barca.
Morning, Chair, members of the
Morning.
board. I'll keep my remarks brief today. I put in your board packet is the finance report through January 31st, 2025. January was a good month for Pittsburgh Water. Receipts for the month totaled $18.2 million as compared to the budget amount of $18.1 million. So slightly above, budget as a comparative basis there. Total forecasted year-end receipts are projected to be $239.8 million. That is 0.05 higher than the budget. So again, really right on track so far this year. Departmental operating expenditures through January 31st, 2025 totaled $8 million. That makes up about 6.2% of the budget for the year. And capital expenditures through that same period, and which is about 2.1% of the budget. 1.5 million in debt service expenditures were paid through January 31st, 2025. That makes up about 1.6% of the budget for the year. And forecasted year-end debt service is projected to be about $94 million, which is slightly lower than the adopted budget for the year. Last, I will note that Pittsburgh Water's cash balance on January 31st, 2025 was $143.4 million. This is a strong position, and I will note that it is well above our historical norms on a comparative basis, which is good news for the authority. Like I said, I'll keep my report brief. This concludes my report for today, and I'll turn it over to any questions. Thank you.
Good. Questions or comments? Red?
Well, yeah, I got something I'm curious about, Ed. Excuse me. And NSF to have two concurrent grants was rare. I mean, if you're Albert Einstein, you could maybe pull that off.
Yeah.
Do we have any sense with how Penvest is moving, whether there's going to be sort of only so many, likewise, be happy with what you have?
Yeah, I mean, all indications from Penvest, and this even goes to the federal funding freeze. All indications from Penvest is it's business as usual. So they, we continue to receive reimbursements. They continue to have, their application rounds for funding. And to this point, there's been no slowdown or indication of such from Penvest. So we're seeing on that. I know the EPA and other agencies looks like there could be some slowdown in what they offer, but specific to Penvest, we're not seeing that.
And is there any sense that other utilities are sort of learning how to do this as well as you do and your team? And the competition may kind of grow, or?
Yeah, we're seeing that specifically with the lead service line program. The new lead and copper ore revisions, really forced different agencies and entities to look at funding opportunities to replace their lead lines. So we're seeing that competition increase when it comes to Penvest, but we're still getting grant dollars, still getting low interest loan dollars. And even with that increased, pool of applicants or pool of entities, Penvest has the funds to continue to fund their needs as well as ours, which is good news.
Thanks.
Okay. You started your remarks by saying it was a good month for Pittsburgh Water, but it was a bad month for Pittsburgh in terms of weather. And I think that certainly added to our revenue with people burst pipes and people draining or keeping faucets leaking and so forth. So you can count me in that group as well. So, but that, I think you said that was unusual for January, and certainly the last two winters have been a lot milder than what we've had. So I'm sure that added a lot to the.
For sure, I would agree.
All right, great, very good. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Next, we have our engineering department report. Rachel.
Good morning, Chair Shuley and members of the board. My report is actually a little bit longer this month, and also I appreciate your patience and attention. I do have some slides. I'd like to start today by highlighting our large diameter water main replacement program. The intent of this large diameter water main replacement program is to systematically perform leak detection, to locate active leaks, and to perform pipe condition assessments to identify signs of significant deterioration to the integrity of the pipe. We then use those evaluation results to inform our decisions, whether to rehabilitate or replace or continue to monitor the main. For context, Pittsburgh Water has over 44 miles of large diameter mains. These are 36 inches and larger that function as rising supply or transmission mains. And these are a combination of pre-stressed concrete cylinder pipe, cast iron, and riveted steel. Our leak detection surveys are accomplished using either a free swimming or a tethered acoustic device that's allowed to flow through an active main, and it hears the sound of leaking water exiting the pipe. The device is tracked using known listening points on the pipe, and a couple pictures showing a smart ball which floats through the pipe, and then the results, the acoustic results. So then the pipe condition assessment of the mains can be completed either in an in-service or dewatered condition of the pipe. The assessment uses devices that are either propelled by flow in the main or propelled manually, and they're equipped with electromagnetic sensors that can measure things like pipe wall thickness, broken reinforcement straps, and pipe ovality. The assessment also typically includes a visual inspection. The equipment shown in these pictures are the Pure Technologies Pipe Walker, as manufactured by Xylem. Pittsburgh Water has a water distribution master plan that was completed in February 2020, and it prioritized all of our large diameter transmission mains based on the following criteria: probability of failure, which considered pipe diameter, pipe material, and pipe age, as well as pipe criticality, which considered resiliency or redundancy, consequence of failure, and the flow demand on the pipe. Shown in this next slide are the top 10 segments that were prioritized in the master plan, including various segments of our rising supply and transmission mains. As I'll show on the next slide, to date, we've performed evaluations of the middle and lower Lanford supply main and the river crossing at 28th Street, and those are, as you can see, labeled on the map. Beyond this, to date, the evaluation and rehab of our large diameter mains has been prioritized mainly to support our water reliability plan, to accommodate outages associated with the ongoing water reliability plan projects, and to facilitate urgent repairs. So this next table shows the status of the program, including the type of evaluations and lengths of mains evaluated by contract. During preparation for the recent leak detection survey of the 48-inch diameter river crossing, we actually found a large leak on a 36-inch connecting supply main, and we repaired that prior to the start of leak detection. And additionally, the leak detection process itself did find a small leak at River Avenue, which will be repaired with the lining of that main later this year. You can see in the table the evaluation and rehabilitation of rising mains 3 and 4, and there's also the evaluation of the Blonox 60-inch main. Those were all performed to support our water reliability plan. So following these evaluations, we can then make informed decisions regarding possible rehab or other improvements. So we use a combination of both pipe replacement and pipe rehabilitation or lining techniques to achieve the most cost-effective and time-efficient solution. Pipe replacement, of course, involves a direct replacement of existing pipe with new ductile iron or steel piping, and it's typically well-suited for existing right-of-way and conditions where surface restoration costs and other impacts to utilities are minimized. Carbon reinforced polymer lining involves the installation of a corrosion resistance and or full structural lining inside the existing pipe. And this method is best suited when pipe replacement would require right-of-way acquisition, significant restoration costs, significant utility relocations, or other onerous installation techniques. And we do additional improvements on a case-by-case basis, which might typically involve replacing existing valves and adding air relief valves or flow meters. So this next table shows the status of our rehabilitation efforts, including the status, the rehabilitation type, and the length of the main. So as shown and mentioned previously, we performed a combination of replacement and CFRP lining, that's the carbon fiber reinforced polymer lining on rising mains 3 and 4 to support the water reliability plan. The 2019 large diameter main projects noted in the first 2 rows had a total cost of $27 million, and we had over $10 million of this paid through PennVest funding. Included in that cost was over $2 million worth of urgent pipe rehabs needed to address active leaks. Our future work under this program will include primarily the rehabilitation of the primary river crossing that I mentioned earlier at 28th Street, which is anticipated to begin in Q3 of this year. So shown here is just some pictures. This is pipe replacement of Rising Main 4 on the left and Rising Main 3 on the right. This is pictures of CFRP application in Rising Main 4 on the left, and on the right, CFRP process nearly completed. And finally, for pictures on the left, this is inside the tent where the CFRP fabric is combined with an epoxy system and a saturator machine immediately prior to installation, and on the right showing outside of the tent, which is temperature controlled with heat or air conditioning depending on conditions. So moving on to our water reliability plan, progress continues on the construction of the Highland Reservoir Pump Station. The photo on the left, which was taken on February 18th, shows progression of the structural steel framing and roof decking. The photo on the right was taken on February 21st and shows progression of the wall framing. This project does remain ahead of schedule and within budget. An update on our lead service line replacement program, a total of 12,387 public and 9,075 private side lead service lines have been replaced through February 26th. We currently have 7 active construction contracts involving lead service line replacements, which are a combination of small diameter water main replacement, neighborhood, and urgent contracts. So as shown in this active work area map, we're currently working in 8 neighborhoods under our neighborhood lead contracts and 2 neighborhoods under the small diameter water main replacement contracts. And contracts, generally speaking, the work under the neighborhood contracts will be starting this spring in the neighborhoods of Millvale, Fineview, Central North Side, and Perry North. That's my final slide. A couple more notes in my report. The following projects are currently out for engineering bids: construction management and construction inspection for the 2025 neighborhood lead service line replacement contract A. Bids are due March 10th. And construction management and construction inspection for the 2025-2026 urgent lead service line replacement. Those bids are due March 13th. And the following projects are currently out for construction bids: the 2025 sewer reconstruction, bids are due March 20th. And the Aspenwall Pump Station, Brecken Pump Station, and Clearwell Bypass, aka ABC, general electrical, plumbing, and HVAC contracts. Bids are due Friday, March 20th at 2 p.m. Finally, in organizational news, I'm happy to share that Mario Camerata has been promoted to the newly created position of Senior Group Manager, Facilities Construction, reporting to Barry King, Director of Drinking Water Programs. This promotion reflects Mario's excellent performance and helps distribute the leadership workload of our ever-growing construction team. Mario is managing the Highland Reservoir Pump Station, among other vertical projects, and his team will manage the construction of the ABC project. We're confident he'll do a great job managing this new group. This concludes my report. Thank you, and I'll turn it over for any questions.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Rachel? Well, it's an impressive list, Rachel, all of the things that are on your slides. And so congrats to you and your team. Special congratulations to Mario on his promotion. I think it's well deserved. A lot of the projects that he's leading seem to be doing very well. So happy to see that he's being recognized for his work.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Next, Chief Environmental Compliance and Ethics Officer report. Mr. Sederi, fresh as a daisy from your trip. Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. So you may recall back to my December report, I made note at that time of numerous annual regulatory submittals that are required at the beginning of each year. Today, I just wanted to take a minute to confirm with the board that we have completed timely submittal of all of those reports. A bunch of those are actually going in here today. These include our self-monitoring compliance reports for Elkasan, 3 discharge locations we have there, our sewer system waste load reports that go to both Penn Hills as well as Elkasan, air quality report and certifications for our boilers and generators, which get submitted to the health department, chemical analysis, residual waste, and waste oil reports that go into PADEP. And finally, a SARA, it's called the SARA, Tier 2 report. This is a chemical inventory report that we actually submit annually to Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry. This report also gets submitted to the City of Pittsburgh's Fire Bureau so that they have awareness of our chemical inventories and storage locations in various facilities. We do have one final report that goes in at the end of March. And this is our combined sewer overflow status report, which gets submitted each year and requires some hydraulic modeling that we include in that annual report. Looking forward here to March each year, we also perform our annual review and update of several important environmental compliance documents. These include our slug discharge plans, which are associated with any discharge we might have to our sewer systems that are atypical. Integrated contingency plan, our spill prevention, control and countermeasures plan, all related to oil containment and how we address oil or chemical spills should they occur. Compliance manual. If you have questions on any of those particular reports, more than happy to discuss those or provide additional detail. The regulatory reporting and the review here of these environmental compliance programs are ways that we do support Pittsburgh Water's mission to protect public health and the environment through the delivery of safe and reliable water services, of course, with a commitment to future generations. One other way that we do that I wanted to highlight today is through some of our efforts at the water treatment plant to help provide some of the best quality drinking water in the region. Pittsburgh Water is a Phase 2 member of the American Water Works Association, or AWWA's. This is a long program name, so get ready. It's called the Partnership for Safe Drinking Water Treatment Plant Optimization. So we just call it the Partnership Program through AWWA. This is a voluntary program. It focuses on improving both operations as well as water quality. And essentially it establishes benchmarks that are more stringent than the regulatory requirements. We have been a member of the Phase 2 program since 2018. So we continually strive to achieve better than regulatory compliance with our water quality. We do have to routinely self-report our data to the partnership for their review and to assure that we remain in compliance. The good news here is in February, our water quality group went to PADEP and actually got approval from the department to submit all of our data to AWWA's National Committee to move towards Phase 3 of this partnership program. Achieving Phase 3 is kind of the highest end we can get. There's a director's award as well as national recognition that would occur once we reach that status. So I'll keep you all up to date as we continue to kind of work through the paperwork to demonstrate that we're qualified to be considered a Phase 3 partnership utility. Again, demonstrating that we would achieve water quality that's above and beyond those regulatory limits. That concludes my remarks for today. I always like to let everybody know the board, our staff, our consultants have questions on compliance or ethics. I'm always available. So thank you.
Questions for Frank?
Yeah, my comment, kind of look to you and BJ representatives of the plant here. So the water just keeps getting better. And I especially like the longer timeline, so you can kind of see seasonally or back whenever what the river was throwing at the plant and how the plant did. An idea and offered in the spirit of conservation of work. Since the MFP is being phased out, it might be good for the board to see what's going on with all the water that's left the plant is sitting in the system. Okay. So think about maybe putting in some disinfection byproduct, seasonal or time series data, just so people can kind of see how that bounces up and down. I realize there's a lot of Sandpoint sites, so probably have to be kind of creative in how it's represented, but just a thought.
Okay. Yeah. We certainly collect all that data and monitor it. So it is
I watch
something.
The DEP website.
Right.
I download it. It's in an Excel format if you want to play with it, but it was just a thought.
Yeah, no, great. We certainly can update that in the water quality reports. So perfect.
Did we start out as a Phase 2 partnership, or did we actually start as Phase 1?
There is kind of a Phase 1 piece of it. It's more just kind of your application and that you're throwing your name in the hat. Okay. Phase 2 does require submittal and you're achieving certain water quality standards, particularly around our performance out of our filters, one of the last treatment steps in our process. And that's what we've been achieving currently. And Phase 3 continues to look at water quality, but gets also more into optimization and operations of how we look at water quality as a whole across the treatment processes.
Okay.
And Frank, who administers that? Who's the governing body?
Yeah, it's a voluntary program. So it's the AWWA, the American Water Works Association. So that's the national, it's actually an international professional organization for drinking water utilities. So they administer that, but a lot of the state organizations participate in it and are part of the data review of it.
We look forward to our graduation to phase 3.
That's right.
Thank you, Frank.
No problem.
All right, next, the Chief Executive Officer report. Will?
Good morning, Chair Shuley. Want to thank the slate of officers for signing up for another year of service on the Pittsburgh Water Board. We're very lucky to have all of our board members serve us. It's been tremendous working with you, and last year was a very successful year. I know we're already full speed ahead on our current year in 2025, but do want to call attention. I know last month we shared our summary video of our year in review, but our annual report is available on the website, and we will have limited print edition for those who are old school and like to touch the paper. But there's a lot of great achievements in there. One that I want to call attention to is the progress we've made on our assistance programs. We have over 8,000 customers enrolled in our monthly bill discount program, which was a new record for us. We're going to maintain those programs and are constantly looking to expand them. It's an area where we've been asked by both state and national level groups to present on, because our approach to providing assistance to customers who are having a difficult time paying their bill has been recognized. It's been largely very successful, with our goal of reducing the likelihood of having to terminate service for anyone who needs our life essential services. So wanted to call attention to that. Please do check out our annual report. Frank mentioned our engagement with AWWA. They hold a series of conferences. I was lucky enough to attend in Dallas. They hold a utility management conference where I caught a session with our very own Lee Haller and Matt Jacob presenting on the evolution of our asset management program. So we are sharing our story of how we're evolving in our asset management. We have an asset management system that is live at our water treatment plant primarily. And then here in the next few weeks, we are expanding our rollout to field operations. So it's going to be a heavy lift on the operations team and the technology services group. But I just wanted to share how rewarding it was to not be up there behind a microphone and to see folks here from Pittsburgh there at a conference representing us so well. We will have some more detail, but a handful of our team were accepted to present at the annual conference and exposition this year that AWWA puts on. So, really rewarding again to see staff throughout the organization be recognized by national groups for the work that we're doing and for the initiatives that we're progressing upon here in Pittsburgh. People are really interested in hearing our story. And one thing that I've found in all of our presentations, we're very straightforward. We're honest about the progress we have to make. A lot of these presentations, people get up there and talk about how great they are, and it's maybe not wholly accurate. So one thing about Lee and Matt's presentation is that I found really refreshing after sitting through a day of sessions was just how pragmatic and honest they were. I'll just end by saying, I value myself in being accessible, have in my career. If anyone wants to reach out to me, email address is my last name, PICKERING @pgh20.com. Happy to help customers sort through whatever issue they may have. Often I can't resolve them personally, and that's why we have a team to assist us. But if anyone wants to reach out to me, I am available. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the board if they have any questions.
Great. Questions, comments for Will? I remember when we struggled to find customers to participate in the bill discount program, where we sat there and brainstormed a little bit about how do we get more of this outreach in there. So I'm really happy to hear that we have 8,000 customers. Congratulations to staff, to Julie, everyone in customer service program, to reach that milestone. Terrific. Okay, let's get to the resolutions. We start with resolution number 8. Mr. Barca, you're up for a while.
I got a couple. That's it.
Yeah.
Resolution number 8 of 2025, approving the resolution to borrow from the Pennsylvania Infrastructure Investment Authority, known as PennVest, for the 2023 small diameter water main replacement non-lead portion project, PennVest number 0254, up to the total principal amount of $62,672,221.
Very good. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 8, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution number 8 is approved. Resolution number 9.
Resolution number 9 of 2025, approving the reimbursement resolution for the 2023 small diameter water main replacement non-lead portion project, PennVest number 80254, as part of the PennVest closing process.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Why does this require a separate resolution for a closing process?
It's just a requirement of the PennVest process. They
Oh,
just,
okay.
they want an acknowledgement from our board that we intend to front the cost and, through that they'll reimburse our costs. So it's just a separate resolution that they require.
Get us hooked on the line here,
Yeah.
right? Okay, all right, good. All those in favor of resolution number 9, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, resolution number 9 is approved. Resolution number 10.
Resolution number 10 of 2025, approving the resolution to borrow from the Pennsylvania Infrastructure Investment Authority for the 2023 small diameter water main replacement lead portion project, PennVest number 80255, up to the principal amount of $6,623,144, of which $4,907,206 is grant and up to $1,715,938 is loan.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
I just want to comment, I think we do this almost every meeting.
We
But
do.
I just think it's really important to point out the support that we've received from PennVest. The grant numbers are impressive. The loan numbers with the interest rate really allow us to do what we need to do for our ratepayers.
Absolutely.
It's a terrific program. And kudos to you, minimizing our use of it.
Yep, thank you.
Good point. All those in favor of resolution number 10, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution number 10 is approved. Resolution number 11.
Resolution number 11 of 2025, approving the reimbursement resolution for the 2023 small diameter water main replacement lead portion project, PennVest number 80255, as part of the PennVest closing process.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 11, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution number 11 is approved. We move to resolution number 12. And we welcome Monica to the microphone. We don't get to see Monica very often at the microphone. Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Good to be up here. Good
Yeah.
morning, Chair Shuley, members of the board. Resolution number 12. This is requesting approval to enter into a new professional service with Eckerd Siemens for regulatory legal services related to the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission. The new contract with Eckerd Siemens includes, but is not limited to PUC regulatory advice and assistance, compliance, tariff and rate matters, consumer complaints, and litigation. The total cost will be based on the need and the hourly rate schedule provided by Eckerd and agreed to by Pittsburgh Water. The term of the contract will commence on March 1st, 2025.
very good. Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 12, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution number 12 is approved. Thank you, Monica. And now, Paul. Hey, we all have newcomers this week. You know, we got Monica, now we have Paul.
Good morning, Chair Foley and board members. For resolution number 13 in 2025 is a request for the board to approve a technical consulting contract with the Net Experts LLC. The annual amount of the contract is $102,000, $768, which will be paid out of the operating budget, while the annual amount of the contract is well below the threshold of board approval. We aim to establish the contract in an evergreen format, ensuring ongoing consulting. Therefore, it is feasible that the contract amount will can surpass board approval. Pittsburgh Water's Technology Services Leadership Team recommends that the board approves this resolution.
All right, thank you, Paul. May I have a motion?
Motion to
Motion to approve.
I think I heard two. Do we have a second?
Second.
Very good. Any discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 13, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution 13 is approved. Thanks, Paul. I thought my haircut was short. The other BJ McFadden. Thank you. Thanks, BJ.
Good morning. Resolution number 14, approving the award of water treatment chemicals, the sodium hypochlorite to JCI Jones Chemicals. This is out of the operating budget for $4,961,121.97.
Thank you. May I have a motion? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, BJ. Any discussion?
And I forget, I don't recall whether this was reverse auctioned or not.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so I guess we're satisfied with how that's working out.
Yeah, that's been working out well for us.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Very good. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor of resolution number 14, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, resolution number 14 is approved. We move to resolution number 15.
Resolution number 15, approving an amendment to the professional services agreement for debris removal from Howard Street dewatering pit for option years 2 through 4 to Evo Eco. This is out of the operating budget for $770,549.81.
Thank you. May I have a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Any discussion? So BJ, will this dewatering pit be continued will we use it after we consolidate operations to River Avenue?
We'd be looking to install a new one at River Avenue.
Okay.
We have to go through permitting and design and so on. So
Okay.
until then, this will be utilized until we can get a new one built.
Okay. Sorry, it's ringing in my ear. All right, so this will be, if you don't use it for the years 3 and 4, you can just terminate the contract at that point, or would you use them to?
This is for the pickup of the debris. So
Okay.
we would have to discuss, it would just be at a different location of where they're picking up the same debris. So this is the debris from when we clean the sewer pipes.
Right.
It would just be a matter of the location as to where they're picking it up.
Okay. Very good. Any other discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 15, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, resolution number 15 is approved. We move to resolution number 16.
Resolution number 16, approving an amendment to the professional services agreement for catch basin cleaning for option years 2 through 4 to Evo Eco. This is also out of the operating budget for $3,223,232.86.
Very good. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 16, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Are there any
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution number 16 is approved. Thanks, BJ.
Thank you.
And now we move to Rachel Beam Show.
Thank you. Resolution number 17, approving the award of a capital contract for the construction of the 2024 small diameter sewer rehabilitation contract 1 to Independent Enterprises. Capital budget, $3,532,272.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Michael. Any discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 17, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, resolution number 17 is approved. Move to resolution number 18.
Resolution 18, approving the award of a capital contract for construction of the 2024 small diameter sewer rehabilitation contract 2 to Independent Enterprises. Capital budget, $5,603,115.
May I have a motion?
Motion
approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? So the differences between these contracts, I know we have a contract 3 as well, is
The primary difference, so we take this program and we divide it up to, for management purposes. And the main difference is basically the location. So contract 1 is primarily in Knoxville. I think contract 2 or 3 is in Summerhill. And I can't remember off the top of my head where the other one is.
all right. Thank you. All those in favor of resolution number 18, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution number 18 is approved. Resolution 19.
Resolution 19, approving the award of a capital contract for construction of the 2024 small diameter sewer rehabilitation contract 3 to Performance Pipelining. Capital budget, $7,939,245.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Performance Pipelining, are they a relatively new vendor to our
They
procurement
are.
process? Yeah.
They are. We have not worked with them previously, so we look forward to working with them. We did find them to be qualified.
Okay, very good. All those in favor of resolution number 19, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, resolution 19 is approved. Resolution number 20.
Resolution 20, approving a change order of an operating contract for the construction of 2024 urgent water repair to Independent Enterprises. Operating budget, $1,200,000. Excavation, valve, and piping work that was performed at our Allentown tanks recently as well as numerous other complicated urgent repairs that have come up over the past few months.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
BJ, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Michael. Any discussion?
Rachel, there were very dramatic increases in the amount. Can you just give us a little bit more detail in terms of what created the need for that?
This change order.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a change order last fall, and this is a second change order. So the primary driver of this change order, about over $500,000 that were tanks. There was really some complex work going on there. We ended up replacing approximately 6 valves ranging in size from 8 to 20 inch. Our contractor spent days doing quite a bit of investigation. We had some piping work to eliminate some cap T, some just a lot of complex work going on there. So that was almost half of the change order. The next significant of work in this change order occurred on the street at a location we call 5733 Butler Street. We had previously replaced a 2-inch valve at this location. And during that time, after that was done, we realized that Sunoco's fire suppression system had been cut off at that time, which they didn't realize. So it's now back in service, but we are going to have to shut down that same. So to make sure that when we do shut down that main again, that their fire suppression system works, we ended up installing a parallel feed so that they can maintain that system. So that work is about $250,000. And then we have 3 other drivers of this, basically a 20-inch valve replacement, a leak on Francis Street, and some additional work at 7th and Smithfield, where we were adding another valve manhole and doing some additional restoration and replacing a large cross, which is expensive.
Sounds like a great example of some of the situations we find ourselves dealing with that we can't anticipate. Thank you.
Good question. Any other comments or questions for Rachel on resolution number 20? All those in favor of resolution number 20, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution number 20 is approved. Resolution number 21.
Resolution 21, approving the award of operating contracts for construction of the 2025 surface restoration to A. Felino Construction and Mealy & Sons. Operating budget, $11,422,343.33.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Michael. Is there a second?
Second.
BJ, all right, discussion. So we have 2 contractors here and 11 million plus. How does that get split up?
So that gets split. We try to split up the work so that we can get more work done in a timely fashion. And we assign paving restoration contracts by award. So that's how that'll be done. We have this we use to prioritize the areas. So we will give specific wards to each contractor, and that way they're not moving around from ward to ward, which makes the work as efficient and cost effective as we can.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor of resolution number 21, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution number 21 is approved. We have the last resolution for the meeting, resolution number 22.
Resolution 22, approving the award of an operating contract for construction of the 2025 manhole and point repair contract to Independent Enterprises. Operating budget, $2,256,041.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Jamila. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 22, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, resolution number 22 is approved. To come before the board today. Hearing none. Just want to announce winter is 80% over and we're looking forward to a spring, despite what Punxsutawney Phil said. So thank you all. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. The second?
Second,
All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
thinking, mailing with sons is.